Hi there, and welcome back to the Painscreek Killings. So, we have a few things on our task list for today based on some things that we did in the last episode. So, if you missed that, definitely go back and check that one out. And the first on the to do is to go back into this little police station here because we were able to finally open the filing cabinet with a key that we found. However, I just looked at the top drawer, and so I completely forgot to check the other drawers, and someone very kindly reminded me that I need to check the rest of them, so we're gonna do that. And then something else that I completely blanked on from last episode was that we turned on the electricity. So I don't think I actually showed that in my last episode. There was a small room in the basement that we could get into, and in there was a lever that we could pull that would turn on the electricity. And at the time, I was like, okay, cool, but nothing really happened. And so I didn't think anything of it. But then once I got into edit, I realized that I had this, which is an electronic key card. And so there's a room in the hospital that I haven't been able to get in, but now that the electricity is on, we can open that. So excited to check that one out. And then finally, this was a key that we found in Bernard's house. So the assumption here is that this is a key that Vivian had with her belongings. We don't exactly quite know where this goes yet. So I think what we're going to do is maybe check around the mansion, make sure we didn't miss anything. I'm thinking maybe like, yeah, it actually says here, it looks like a desk key. So we're going to check out some desks in the mansion to make sure we didn't miss anything there. Still haven't figured this one out. There's a code on the back, so not sure what this goes to yet. Hopefully we'll find out today. And with that, let's get in. Let's see what other secrets we can find in Painscreek and what doors we can unlock. Okay, so there we go. All right, so we opened this one and we got all of that. So let's see what else is in here. Okay. Oh, interesting. Vivian Roberts murder case, record of alibi. Ooh. Okay, this is super important. So, interview record of on July 25th, 1995, they talked to Charles. I wasn't here when my wife was killed. I left for New York on July 18 to attend a conference meeting that was supposed to last for 3 days. I was supposed to be back on the weekend on the morning of July 20. However, I received a phone call from our butler, Bernard, informing me that Vivian had been murdered. I could not believe what I heard. I cut short my trip and immediately came back to Painscreek. Hopefully we checked if he was actually there for the entire 3 days of that conference. Okay, so then we also interviewed Matthew Brooks. So this is Father Brooks. Or Father Matthew, I should say. So there is an annual religious gathering event in Hartford where pastors from different churches in our state's vicinity meet and discuss what we can do to help our society. The event started on July 18 and ran for 5 days, so it ended on July 23rd. I represent Painscreek Trinity Church at the event. Our church can confirm this because we had to cancel our Sunday service that week. Okay. So again, hopefully we double checked all of this detail. Bernard Hopkins. So I'm going to be honest. Where I'm at right now in the case is I have some suspicions about Charles, and I also have some suspicions about Bernard. I don't see Father Matthew being the killer. I don't know what his motive would be. So I'm not super skeptical of him right now, but I don't know, maybe there's some evidence against him that we don't know yet. Okay, so let's read about Bernard. So he says, I was preparing for the fundraiser event when I felt sick. However, there was no one who can really do my job, so I kept working. At about 9 in the evening, I was too sick to continue, so I bid Vivian goodnight and headed back home. Dorothy Patterson saw me leave. No, there's no one else that lives there. I live alone. Yeah, so he doesn't have a great alibi. Let's see what Dorothy says. So yes, Bernard was not feeling well that day, so he left slightly earlier than usual. However, he finished his work before he left. When I saw how sick he appeared, I wondered how he could have kept on working. Well, I guess that's why the Roberts family trusts him so much. Me, I was around the mansion most of the time, either preparing the food or making sure that the other maids were doing their jobs. The fundraising event, which was to be held the following day, was important to Vivian, so we were all making sure that everything was perfect. By the time Mary left, it was already past midnight. I locked the doors and then went home myself. No, I live alone. Okay. Mary Martinez. So, my name is Mary Martinez. I had been working in the kitchen for the past few days for the upcoming fundraiser event. Jimmy's Bakery was supposed to deliver the cakes, but a few days before the event, they called to inform us that they can't make it. Suddenly, I was in charge of the cakes. I was so mad because we didn't have much time, and this event was supposed to be extremely crucial for Vivian's business. But after hearing that Vivian was murdered, all my anger and work just sort of became irrelevant. And then it looks like we also talked to Derek. So I remember dropping Mr. Roberts off at the airport on July 18th at around 2 p.m. I was supposed to come back after that to drive around for Vivian, but she told me to take a break since I haven't had a day off for quite some time. I decided to visit a friend of mine who was moving upstate to West Dakota. What sort of friend? An elementary school buddy that used to live here, but moved when he received a scholarship. I stayed at his place for a few days before coming back to Painscreek. Yes, he can vouch for me. I have his number at home. I can give it to you later. Derek never gave me the number. Interesting. Okay. Gosh, I don't know if Derek would be suspicious though. I think he was the one that was kind of maybe had a crush on Trisha too. But why would he want to kill Vivian? Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Well, that was a really good thing to read. Okay. Nothing in there. And then what does this say? Lost and found. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have some more keys here, so that's awesome. Let's see what we have. Oops. I always do that. So it looks like we have some glasses, a toy truck, whatever that is. But then we also have a key, a car key. I don't know if there's been any cars that we couldn't get into. Looks like we can take it. Interesting. Let's see what it says. Maverick model. A car key belongs to a Maverick model. I have no idea what that means. So I don't know. Gosh, do we have to go? I don't know what that would tell us. Unless there's a vehicle that we haven't discovered yet. Yeah, because we were able to break into all of the cars around town. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what that tells us. Okay, so next on the list is to go back to the hospital. This is probably the one that I'm most excited about. I feel like we're going to find some good stuff in there because it took a long time for us to discover that we needed to get the electricity going and then to finally get the electricity running. It's been quite a few episodes since both of those things occurred. I think the hospital was maybe in when we when we searched the hospital. That was maybe like episode 2, maybe even 1, I can't remember. And then we finally just got the electricity on last episode. So I feel like there's probably something really good there. And I'm walking over to this car just to see. I'm walking over to this car just to see if there's anything in here. Yeah, this doesn't even have... Oh, wait. I guess I didn't think about this. If there's, Oh, here we go. Okay. So this key belongs to this car. But... Oh, can we get in there? Open. Oh, okay. Here we go. Use. What? Oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh. Let's get up. What's in there? Another key, it looks like, and another journal. Can't get in any further. So... Doesn't look like I can grab that, but it does look like I can grab the keys. Lockbox 201. Okay. I'm just confirming I cannot pick that up. Oh, wait. There. Did say pick up. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's read what else he was investigating, huh? My head hurts, my tire's flat, and the phone's not working. Is someone trying to stop me from leaving Painscreek? Am I close to something? Oh god, I thought he was the one. I was wrong. He's not the killer. He's not. Whoa, so what did he figure out? Maybe it's in that lockbox? Let's go check that out. So I'm assuming when they say lockbox, it's the one in the hotel. So I wonder who he was suspicious of. Or unless he's just making that claim about Scott. Maybe, you know, he originally thought it was Scott as well. Okay, so 201. Let's see, right here. Let's crouch. Get up there. And use. Oh, that's view. And use. There we go. Okay, looks like we got a photo. Okay. Funny. We already found this. We know what this is. This is in a prior episode as well, so you should go check this one out. What's the button for? Okay, so we know that. There's a little, maybe newspaper. No, I was going to say, is it a newspaper clipping? He's on to me, and I had to hide the key in one of the drains by the roadside. Oh. He will never find. He's on to me. Gosh, who is it? Okay, so this is May 19th, 1997. Ever since I received the messages and the key, I have been following this anonymous person blindly. What a fool I've been. I need to revisit my investigation notes and see if I might have missed anything important. I don't know if that's like a hint, hint, nudge, nudge. You might want to go back and look at all of Steve's journal entries too. So, May 21, 1997. I looked through the alibi record by Sheriff Howard. There were 6 interviews: Charles, Matthew, Bernard, Dorothy, Mary, and Derek. Then I noticed it. One of them is lying. Oh. It was recorded that there was an event, yet I remember reading somewhere about it being canceled. Where did I read it again? I can't seem to remember. Okay, so both Charles and Matthew, or Derek, were tied to events, which is interesting. So we'll have to maybe go back and reference some things. But it sounds like he is maybe on to one of those 3. So let's keep reading. Oh my God, I've just realized that the E in all of the killer's messages is slightly off in comparison to all the other letters. If I can find that typewriter, I can find who killed Vivian. Oh. Oh. So we know that I think Bernard had a typewriter. But what does he mean? The killer's messages. I don't know if we've ever seen any of those, right? The only messages that I know about are the messages that Scott... Oh, you know what? There was the message that I think Vivian got. Yeah. So gosh, we need to look for a typewriter too. So I think Bernard had a typewriter. I also want to say that Andrew, so the house that was burnt with Andrew inside, I want to say he had a typewriter too, because I think we saw that he was typing a note to his son. And gosh, I don't know who else might have had a typewriter. Maybe Charles? We'll have to kind of look around the mansion when we're over there. And I don't know, if we don't find anything there too, we'll just have to go check. We don't know where Mary lives. We don't have access to any of her stuff right now, but we can go check Dorothy's house. And check Dorothy's house, and then I'll have to check if we have access to Derek's house too. Okay, but again, so it's really interesting about the line piece, and only Charles, Matthew, and Derek seem to be tied to the event. Although Dorothy and Mary were also talking about the fundraising event, so yeah, I guess technically they all are. Gosh, okay. We're probably gonna have to go back and look at some journal entries to figure out, yeah, to figure out what was maybe canceled. So that'll be a to-do. Just want to make sure we grabbed everything in here. Okay. So we're gonna have to keep an eye out on some of the gutters too, but gosh, does that mean that there's maybe a key down in the sewer? Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so I think for now, we're gonna stay on track with our initial plan of attack. So we are gonna go up to the hospital, and then we're gonna go back to the mansion, and maybe along the way, we will check out any gutters. Otherwise, if there's nothing very obvious above ground, we might have to do a better search of the sewers. And then we also want to check out this typewriter situation. Okay. So guys, I'm going to head over there and we'll come back once I'm up there. And or if I find anything exciting along the way. So I'll see you there. Alright guys, we are back at the hospital. And I was just taking a quick peek at the map that we have. So if we look at the first floor, if I remember right, I feel like the locked room was along the right-hand side there. So I'm assuming it's number 2, which is the doctor's office, which would make sense because what we have is Henry's key card. So I think we're on the first floor, but we might have to explore the hospital a little bit more if that is not correct. So let's get back in here. Is this not a place we ever got into? Doesn't look like it. Interesting. So this is the... I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like just a little staff cafeteria. Okay. So what's this? Did I lose my light? Yeah, I did. Okay. There we go. Key card. Nice. All right, what are we gonna find in the doctor's office? Maybe some incriminating evidence? Does this turn on? Do we have lights? Let's see. No lights. Okay. I'm gonna close that. We have a fax here, it looks like, from Vivian on May 29, 1993. Dear Dr. Henry Johnson, I would like to thank you for the contribution to the Painscreek Community Hospital and the people of Painscreek for the past 2 decades. However, there have been reports regarding the mishandling of funds designated for PCH, most of which came from the Roberts Relief Fund. The support was meant to help with the purchase of medical equipment and supplies. Since a sum of nearly $160,000 has been estimated missing, we have no other choice except to open an investigation. Until you are able to explain the discrepancies between your accounting and ours, we have no choice but to suspend all funding for the hospital for the time being. I will be meeting you and your accountant to solve these issues so we may continue to support the hospital's need. Okay. So what I need to go check is when Vivian died versus when Henry died. But again, this goes back to like, did Henry have a motive to kill Vivian? He didn't want this to be disclosed, maybe. Okay. Okay, so let's look through the desk here. Oh gosh, another key. 203. Oh, so does he have a lockbox at the hotel too? Okay, let's grab that. Getting so much stuff. Let's crouch. Nope. There we go. Oh, I just had it. Where is it? Come on. There we go. And of course, the hardest one, and then there's nothing. Okay. To Charles Roberts, I don't know if it's a joke that you sent me the threat letter, but if you knew about the well, oh, then you must have found out the truth. Just so you know, your wife was the one behind it all. Jeez. If you have any grudge, it's with her, not me. I was just a witness in Sophia's death, nothing more. Yeah, so there's a part of me that thinks Charles somehow killed Henry after he found out. Fax it tomorrow. Did he ever get that fax? No, he didn't, obviously. It never made it. And I don't know if, like, he knows for sure Charles sent the threat letter, but gosh, I don't know. Or is he just assuming that Charles sent it? Because we know Vivian got a threat letter too about the well. Unless he's trying to make it seem like Charles sent it when maybe Henry actually sent it. I don't know. Gosh. There's so many different paths you can take with this game or this like investigation. Okay, and this is all crinkled up. So I know what you did. Meet me by the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. And I think Vivian got the same. So someone knew about all 3 of them being involved. Oh, wait. What did that say? Looks like it's just an envelope. So how does he know it was Charles? Unless he's just assuming. And then he was gonna fax this. That's crazy. Okay.
Henry, I just received a letter from the NMB investigation firm regarding the use of the RRF funds. I need you to call me. Henry, we really need to talk. Please call back. What's going on, Henry? Why aren't you returning my calls? This is really important.
So that's obviously Vivian. Okay, so we have the hotel key with the tag 203. Oh, you know what? Unless this is for one of those cabinets. Let's see. One of the cabinets out here. Oh, no, it doesn't look like it. Doctor's use only. 203. Yeah, I'm assuming this is not going to work for any of those. Okay, so again, I think let's maybe just go back to the mansion. Make sure we didn't miss anything there. All right, guys, we are back here. So I have no idea which room might have a desk. So we might have to kind of look around a little bit. But there's a few places I'm thinking of. Obviously, the office. There's kind of like the staff area over there that we can check out. And then, gosh, I think we just have to, if we can't find anything, just all of the bedrooms as well. I don't recall there being any keys that or any desks in here. So let's go over here. And I want to say this one doesn't have a keyhole. It has a lock, which we still haven't been able to figure out. I think this one has to do with the chess pieces, but I don't know. I don't know if we've actually seen all of the chess pieces yet. We've already seen that. I'm not seeing a typewriter in here. Let's just make sure it's not back here. Okay, so let's go back. Make sure there's not a typewriter sitting in here that we completely missed. Don't recall there being anything back there either. Let's go check this out. So is this the tea room? Yes. Okay, there is something locked here. So maybe this is this. I keep doing that. Instead of clicking Y, I click X. Nice. Okay. Ooh, what's this gonna be? So, January 2nd, 1995. Although we live in the same house... Okay, so this is Vivian. Although we live in the same house, Charles and I hardly speak to each other. I know that he's been feeling guilty ever since his affair, but that was 20 years ago. It's high time I forgive him out loud. Next, I need to work things out with Trisha. I've been objecting her relationship with Scott for quite some time. In doing so, Trisha has been avoiding me. I haven't been a good mother, but I want to be there whenever she needs me from now on. I just want things to go back to the way they were. January 12, 1995. The agency has arranged for a new guy to help me. His name is Owen Smith. Quite a young man for what he has accomplished. During our meeting, Owen asked me many things as if he was interviewing me. Brief introduction turned out to be hours long. However, by the end of it, he said he has everything he needed and will get things moving right away. I have a good feeling about him. So this Owen Smith must be the guy that Bernard was seeing her with. So I wonder if he's helping her on like the financial stuff. Maybe that's what all of those meetings were about. Although it is weird to have her kiss him on the cheek if it was purely business. So I don't know, maybe she was digging into like, maybe she was trying to find Vincent. Maybe like that's her way of, you know, can Charles forgive me? Okay. So, May 12, 1995, Owen called to meet with me today. He had the papers ready for me to sign. He said that the location of the exhibit has been approved. All we need is the down payment. That's great. I signed the papers almost immediately. After that, I informed our accountant, Helen, to transfer the money from the Roberts relief funds, since the hospital won't be needing it for a while. Okay, so an exhibition. Owen's been a great help since we brought up the idea of an art gallery for the public. Ah, okay. I'm not sure if things could have gone so quickly if it had been some other agent. I owe him so much. June 17, 1995, the art gallery will open in 3 months. I'm so excited about it. We have received most of the artwork from the contributors and artists. All I need is to ask Charles if he would be willing to donate some of his paintings. If this exhibition succeeds, it would be good for us and for Painscreek. I haven't felt this alive in a very long time. I have a purpose now. Okay. Vivian Roberts' story. Is that just a book? Let's see what that is. Can't tell. Okay, so we found the drawer. So, really, we might just have to go see about the typewriters, and then, gosh, do we have to go back into the sewers? Maybe. So, I think, let me do a little searching, guys. Let me go back to Bernard's. If we don't find anything there, I think we'll maybe go to the burnt house, which I believe was Andrew's. And gosh, those are the only typewriters I feel like I remember seeing. Oh, you know what? I'm so glad I read that because I just had an epiphany. I wonder if this is actually a hospital key. 201. No, that wouldn't make... Wait. Was it 201? 203. Which would be... Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like we have to go do that. Shoot. We're going to be running around today. Yeah, that would make more sense about that key being in Dr. Henry Johnson's possession and not the lockpicks in the hospital. So let's head back over there and we'll see what we find there. Potentially right around the corner here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay. Whose room would this be? I wonder if this is Trisha's room. Yeah. Or maybe it was Magdalene's. Why are all these VCRs here? Or VHS tapes? Happily ever after? What does that mean? Let's see if we can turn on the lights. No. So I'm wondering if that post-it we just read in Trisha's room. Lots of storybooks. Okay. I wonder if this is all the books that she had requested. Okay, let's go see what's over here. There's not much in here for that key to be here. Not really finding a lot. Ah, here we go. Okay. So this is Trisha's diary. So July 27, 1995, yesterday on hearing that Scott was apprehended for the murder of her mother, Trisha collapsed. Oh, who is this? Is this Wanda? We'll have to check. July 27, 1995. Yesterday, on hearing that Scott was apprehended for the murder of her mother, Trisha collapsed. The hospital called this morning to inform us that it was just a nervous breakdown. However, they've suggested that she should stay there for another few weeks. Charles is asking me to stay by her side. Or maybe this is Dorothy? Ah, maybe it's Dorothy. And she's in Trisha's room, staying with her. So August 3rd, 1995, it rained today. Trisha has always hated the rain. She stayed in bed, tucked under the blanket, nearly the entire day. Here and there, she mutters Scott's name out loud. She's cried herself to sleep a few times. It pains me to see her like this. August 22nd, 1995. Charles visits Trisha almost every day. Today he was quieter than usual. All of a sudden, he told me that Vivian had been seeing another man, apparently a banker, for more than a year. He asked me if Vivian ever talked to me about it. I said I didn't know anything, but was sure that Vivian would never have done such a thing. Then I realized that Trisha was awake. I'm not sure if she heard our conversation. Okay, so interesting. Charles thought that Vivian was having an affair. And we know what Vivian was doing. So September 8, 1995, Sheriff Howard came today. He asked me if I remember seeing anything suspicious the night Vivian died. I've already told him everything I know. It's frustrating to be asked over and over about things that I just want to forget. Before he left, I asked if Scott could really be the killer. He said he's wondering the same thing. If Scott was not the killer, then who killed Vivian? Great question. That's exactly what we're trying to find out. So September 16, 1995, Derek came by to see Trisha. I asked him how he was doing. He said that the medical expenses for Wanda were more than he expected. Even with Charles's help, he's been forced to use up most of his savings. He's currently searching for a second job. He asked me if there was a future for him. Traveling with Charles made him see some of the rather ugly sides of the world. His mother is hospitalized with terminal cancer, and seeing his best friend Trisha like this pains him. I didn't know what to tell him. Before he left, he leaned close to her and whispered, "Would it have been better if Scott just never showed up? Would you have chosen me?" I wish that I had never heard that. Creepy. Okay. Looks like a room key. So, was there a locked room in Dorothy's room? There might have been. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so now we're figuring out how Scott died. So this was November 17, 1995. Scott Brooks's body found by jogger with multiple stab wounds to the heart. So Scott's body was found behind a bush on Maple Drive. The police are currently investigating the case. I wonder if there's anything over there that we can find. Because it's interesting that they're giving us a location. A bush on Maple Drive. Okay, so police do not know if this is tied to the murder of Vivian Roberts. Scott Brooks, a star suspect in the Vivian Roberts case, was found dead yesterday. His body was found on the roadside along Maple Drive. At around 6:50 a.m., a jogger happened to find a body lying motionless behind a bush on the side of the road. He stopped to check if the person needed help, only to notice that the body was covered in blood. He immediately called 911. The police arrived shortly at around 7 a.m., and the victim was declared dead. The estimated time of death was predicted to have happened 4 to 6 hours prior, putting the incident to have occurred around 1 to 3 a.m. Questions have been raised in regards to the murder of Vivian Roberts, of which Scott Brooks was the key suspect. He had been released from prison due to insufficient... and we can't get any more. So before we logged into the game again, I was looking through some old journal entries just to see if I could find anything new that I may have missed. And there was something from the security guard at the mansion who had mentioned something about a man running through the mansion grounds, and he had like a sweatshirt on with the hood up. So I want to go back and see if that aligns with the timing here, because that would be interesting. And we know that Derek works at the mansion, so it would make sense that he maybe ran back there. And if we look at, yeah, Maple Drive. So yeah, if you needed a quick getaway, just run to the mansion, right? It's the road that's leading up to the mansion there at the top. Okay. Interesting. Gosh, I just feel like every episode we get some new information and then I'm unsure about who killed who. Ugh. Okay. So let's see. We now have another key, a bedroom key. So I kind of want to actually stop now back at Dorothy's house because I think she may have had a locked bedroom as well. So I think since Dorothy's house, I believe, is pretty close to the hospital, let's do that. And then everything else we're gonna maybe keep for next time. So let's go. Oh, hold on. Before we leave though. Oh, interesting. Why would the bathroom be locked? Weird. Okay. I feel like it got really quiet. And it's usually not this quiet, which is making me nervous. Yeah, it's like real quiet. I do not like this. Let's get out into the open. Yeah, so what I was talking about with, there's the music with Trisha. I think this might have been her. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go back and check out Dorothy's house real quick, and then, yeah, we'll kind of make a game time decision there. All right. All right, we are back. I believe this is Dorothy's house because I always think about it as the house from the movie The Holiday. It literally is like the exact replica, like even the inside, and I think it's hilarious and I love it. So I believe this is her home. So we're just looking for a door now, or yeah, a door that has been locked. And I want to say her house was similar to, um, her house was similar to Bernard's, or I feel like one of the bedrooms upstairs, if I'm remembering right, was locked. I'm just kind of looking around. Okay, let's go look. Unlock. Okay, so let's try this one. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, both her and Bernard were weird. They like locked their doors, which I thought was odd and suspicious. So it looks like we have a couple of things here, which is making me excited. There's this box over here. There's a key here. I feel like there's some more secrets. I feel like Dorothy has secrets. Okay, let's close this so I can maneuver a little bit better here. Of course, no lights. Okay. So let's see. We have... Oh, I thought this was a key. Okay, a pendant of Mother Mary. And... Okay. I was just making sure there wasn't anything on there. Ooh, another diary. Let's see what she has to say. All of her diaries are the same. They look the same. So, October 27, 1995. Scott was released from prison this morning. Matthew went to pick him up. There's a lot of tension here in Painscreek. Most people think of Scott as a murderer. Charles tried to stop Trisha from seeing Scott, but it's no use. She was already waiting for him at the cabin. So November 6, 1995, Charles is drinking again. He couldn't stop Trisha from trying to see Scott, yet Scott seems to be avoiding her. Trisha should not have been discharged from the hospital at this point. She still needs help and rehabilitation. Okay, so yeah, this is leading up to Scott's murder. November 14, 1995, Derek and Scott fought at the market today. See, Derek. Derek asked Scott why he's avoiding Trisha. Scott didn't say anything, he just walked away. Derek told him not to come back anymore. So yeah, I think Scott not seeing her maybe put Trisha over the edge, and she decided to do what she did. It's sad to see what's happening to them now. They used to be such good friends. Although Trisha's still alive here, so maybe he was just upset that maybe what happened was Derek was upset to see Trisha heartbroken. So he kills Scott, and then I think maybe after Scott was killed, maybe Trisha committed suicide? That's maybe what happened. Okay, and then November 16, yep, we know that date. Oh my god, Scott was killed. December 2nd, 1995. Trisha's been going crazy ever since Scott died. She sometimes screams in the middle of the night. Here and there, she'll ask us why Scott hadn't visited her for a while. No one seems to know how to answer without agitating her condition. Okay, yep, and then the mental breakdown. So December 6th, 1995. Trisha is finally being admitted to the hospital for another mental breakdown. Charles doesn't know what to do. I've asked for his permission to take care of Trisha at the hospital until she recovers. I think Charles appreciates my help. Okay. Oh, we got some more stuff here. Let's see. So just a newspaper, it looks like. Oh, there we go. Yep. So December 27, 1995. Daughter of ex-mayor found at Painscreek Community Hospital. The hospital is now checking to see why the roof door was not locked. Investigation is still pending regarding Trisha's death. So Trisha Roberts falls 40 feet from rooftop, lands on head, and dies. Jeez. Yesterday morning, the body of Trisha Roberts was found on the grounds of Painscreek Community Hospital. She was pronounced dead at 7:20 a.m. According to Miss Thompson, she was starting her morning shift when she heard some sound near the reception area. She went out to find Trisha lying motionless. Blood was flowing out from her head. She quickly called Dr. Bennett, the attending physician for the day's morning shift, who brought Trisha to the emergency room at once. Unfortunately, it was too late. The hospital CCTV shows that Trisha Roberts was walking around the hospital at around 6:30 a.m. She headed to the roof at 6:54. A few minutes later, her body was found on the ground, 3 floors below. Charles Roberts, ex-mayor and father of the deceased, and we can't read anymore. All newspaper articles found. Woohoo! Achievement. Look at us. Very thorough. Okay. Nothing on the bed, it doesn't look like. So let's go see if there's anything. Oh, we have a key here. Looks like a house key. Huh. Whose house key would this be? Okay. Well, that's another thing to figure out. Gosh. What does that say? Oliver Photo Lab cleaning. So is she kind of doing cleaning on the side? Oliver Gibson. So, dear Dorothy, this is January 18, 1996. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for all you've done for me. You've taken care of my store on so many occasions. You've helped maintain its bright spirit. I would be lying if I said that I am not saddened by your departure. I will greatly miss you. I wish you all the best in your new place. Do invite me there once you're settled in. May God be with you. Best regards, Oliver Gibson. Your new place. Did she move to a different house? This is a house entrance key. Found it in Dorothy's house next to her work calendar. So unless this gets us into maybe like the photography guy, maybe his house? And you know what would be crazy? I feel like the only mention we have of him is in one of Trisha's early diaries of him coming to like help her with photography. What a twist if he was like somehow involved in all of this. He was like obsessed with Trisha or something. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the Bible there. So let's see. Anything in here? Doesn't look like anything suspicious. Okay. Oh, we have a little box that says Sophia on it. Interesting. Why does she have that? Okay. I wonder if this. What did it say? 0526? 0526? I wonder if that's this. Oh, wow. Okay, so we figured that one out. Gosh, what are we gonna find in here? Oh, wow. Anything else we can grab? Okay. So, diary. Gosh, is this Trisha's? No, Sophia's diary? Yeah, I think it is. Wow. Okay. So, August 30, 1974. I know some people don't like me. Wanda always picks on me, and Bernard ignores me most of the time. Andrew, well, he's okay as long as I'm not in his garden. Dorothy cares a lot for me, though. I like her. Tom, our security guard, treats me with respect, even though I'm just a housemaid. Vivian and Charles are kind to me. Oh, and Matthew, too. I almost forgot about him. He's been taking care of me forever, certainly as long as I can remember. I'm a lucky girl. So, October 20, 1974. Matthew talks to me whenever he has time. Sometimes I feel he's trying to escape his chores at the church. We'll talk about everything under the sun, our hopes, dreams, futures. It reminds me of our days at the orphanage. So, December 29, 1974. Landing a job here as a maid was the best thing that could have happened to me. However, I never imagined I would be having an affair with a married man, let alone my employer. Now I'm carrying his child. How do I face Matthew? March 15, 1975. I received a letter from Matthew today saying that he'll be extending his stay in Indonesia for 6 months more. For 6 more months. That's always been him. He always had a noble heart, wanting to help people everywhere. I miss him, but I'm glad he decided to extend his stay there. It gives me time to prepare how I'll explain my situation to him. I don't know how he'll take it if he just hears the truth blurted out once he gets back. March 18, 1975. I received a telegram this morning from Matthew wishing me a happy birthday. He told me he had a special birthday present prepared for me. All I need to do is to find the clues that he placed in our favorite places. He's waiting for my telegram after I've solved the puzzle. I've actually solved it already, but I don't know what to say to him. What should I do? So June 1st, 1975, my baby was born today at 8:20 a.m. and it's a boy. He looks just like Charles. Oh, okay, so you know what we have here now. We have Vincent's, aka Scott's, birthday, which I believe is, if I'm remembering right from my notes, the code that we need for the art gallery, which is in the mansion. So I'm going to write this down. Okay, nice. I was actually scrambling through all the journal entries trying to find if I had a date for Vincent, aka Scott's, birthday, and I couldn't find anything. So here we go. So Dorothy's taking good care of us. She prepares the food and attends to my needs. I almost feel like I'm her boss. Charles visits me all the time, asking if we need anything else. I told him he didn't have to come so often and to instead focus on work. As mayor, he must have a lot on his mind. And then finally, June 16, 1975. Charles told me today that his mother, Magdalene, will be arriving in 2 weeks. She knows about our relationship. I feel nervous because she's a strict woman. At the same time, I'm happy because she told Charles to take responsibility for me and my son. Soon, I won't have to be a maid anymore. Charles has decided to name our child Vincent Roberts. I like that name. Okay. Sophia Miller's story. I don't know if we knew her last name. So Sophia Miller. And then it doesn't look like, outside of this paper down here, it doesn't look like there's anything else I can read. So I just want to make sure. Okay, so March 8, 1975. I just want to see who this is from. Okay, Matthew. So, dear Sophia, how have you been? I hope everyone is treating you well at the mansion. It's been 6 months since my missionary work started here in Indonesia. Life here is hard, but meaningful. I thought my life at the orphanage was miserable, but after coming here, I realized I'm blessed more than I could have ever imagined. I'm supposed to be back in 1 week's time, but I recently decided that I'll be extending my stay here for another 6 months. I haven't received any letters from you for a while now. I hope you are doing well. Remember the time when we were at the orphanage, you said that you don't want to be poor anymore? I think God heard your call and brought you to Painscreek. Charles and Vivian told me they were glad I introduced you to them. They said you are a hardworking person with a kind heart, and that us being related was not the reason they hired you. You got the job on your own merit. I did not know whether or not to tell them we are not actually cousins. I feel bad for lying to them. I guess I'll have to tell them the truth someday. Having said that, I'm glad that you are in Painscreek. We can talk and meet anytime, just like the good old days at the orphanage. I will do my best here. I hope you can wait for me. Best regards, Matthew Brooks. P.S. I have prepared a special present for your birthday. Wait for my telegram that day. Okay, and then I just want to make sure. I think that's what I found, yeah. I'm not seeing anything else that I can grab. So, gosh, I think we got everything then from her place. And I love it because we have so much more we can do now for the next episode, which I'm pumped about. And I just kind of want to get back into it now. So, just so you are excited along with me, I think what we're going to do and we're holding for next episode is going to be, one, we need to figure out the typewriter. And supposedly, according to the private investigator, if we find the typewriter, we might get closer to who the killer is. So we definitely want to check out Bernard and I think Andrew. And if we don't find anything there, so key there with the typewriter was that the E was missing, or there was something wrong with the typewriter E. So we'll have to check that. If we don't find anything between those two, we'll kind of have to search around. We also know that the investigator potentially threw a key down the gutter. So that tells me there are either going to be maybe some gutters sitting around town that we can dig into, or we're just gonna have to go explore the sewers a little more thoroughly, because really I haven't noticed anything around town, so I'm assuming that means it's in the sewer somewhere. It might be in a section that we just haven't been able to get into, so that's another thing. And then what else do we have? We have the key that we found at Dorothy's house, which was a house key, and I think it might be connected to the Oliver's photography. If we can maybe get into that building, I think we might have his key because she was a cleaning lady for him, it sounds like. So we'll have to check that one out next episode. The newspaper told us that Scott's body was found on Maple Circle, which is the road kind of leading up to the mansion there, behind a bush. And it was very specific, so I kind of just want to go check that out to see if there's anything that was left behind. I kind of doubt it, just because you would think, the police would take anything, but who knows. And then finally, we actually do need to head back into the mansion because we did find out the code to the safe. So we have a lot of stuff to dig into next time. I think we have some new info that we got too that we'll just have to double check on as well. But I am so excited to jump back into the next episode here. Hopefully you guys are too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.